From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
Welcome to the February 9th edition of Carolina Week, the student-produced newscast devoted to coverage of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and the surrounding area. I'm Jacqueline McClary.
And I'm Fred Shropshire. Thank you for joining us. We're excited to be bringing you news about campus events and issues. Communication is open between UNC students and athletic leaders. At a meeting late Wednesday afternoon, UNC Athletic Director Dick Bedore welcomed student leaders to discuss a ticket task force. Students want better seats in the Dean Dome, a move down from the upper deck. Carolina Athletic Association President T. Pruitt thinks a task force comprised of students, faculty, the Educational Foundation, and the Athletic Foundation can effectively deal with student seating issues.
Our concept is to have this task force which will assess how the current seating is placed in the Smith Center and make any positive recommendations for change.
About 5,000 students can get seats in the Smith Center. 3,500 of those are in the upper level, and 1,500 are in the back corner of the lower level. Pruitt's proposal calls for reserving the front 10 to 12 rows of lower level seats for students. The seating includes standing bleachers on 3 sides of the court. Alumni would move into the seats previously reserved for students. UNC's exciting home victory against Maryland revamped the old debate about student seating. Carolina Fever sophomore Dave Carpenter was at the Maryland game. He thinks it's a student's right to sit courtside.
It's our school. We get 4 years to go here. We should have 4 years to sit next and root on our team.
With the potential of a task force at hand, students may be able to gain access to lower level seats in the Dean Dome. But Pruitt doesn't want compromise to turn into conflict with the athletic department, the Educational Foundation, or wealthy boosters.
We're not interested in fighting the athletic department at all. We're not interested in fighting the Educational Foundation at all, because we have to have, the department, the foundation, and the students all in cohesion, for this to actually occur. And I think that, the Maryland game was a tangible, perfect example of what can occur at the Smith Center every night if we can just switch who sits where.
Some feel the best interest of the team is to move students closer. Even some players say having the students closer to the court can make a difference. But the university must honor the generations of alumni who funded the Smith Center, so the debate will go on.
And another student concern. New information on a story we brought you last week. UNC-Chapel Hill students will have to make up classes for those January snow days. Students will attend classes on Sunday, February 27th, Saturday, March 25th, and Saturday, April 8th. UNC general admission requires 150 days of class every year. Without the makeup days, UNC-Chapel Hill would drop below that minimum requirement as a result of January's record snowfall. Chancellor William McCoy met with student and faculty representatives Friday to look at different options for making up the missed days. Rejected alternatives included holding classes on reading days and shortening spring break. UNC-Chapel Hill freshman Kristen Lanier says she understands the chancellor's decision.
This idea.
That's probably the best bet, and the only way that they have to make it up without going into spring break, which would mess up everybody as far as traveling plans.
Repeating those makeup days, it's Tuesday classes will meet on Sunday, February 27th. Wednesday classes will be made up on Saturday, March 25th. Students should go to their Thursday classes on Saturday, April 8th.
UNC hospitals have been given a $20 million renewed federal grant to help treat AIDS patients. Grant money will go toward the research of the ACTG AIDS Clinical Trial Group. Research funds will support patient examinations, lab testing, vaccine immunizations, teaching materials, and data collection. Research shows a decrease in AIDS deaths in the last 6 years, largely due to drug therapy. Through 1998, nearly 9,000 North Carolinians were diagnosed with AIDS and 8,500 tested positive for HIV. The grant represents the 4th round of funding for UNC-Chapel Hill. Duke University has also received AIDS grant money.
After the 5th fire in 3 months at Morrison Residence Hall early last week, there's concern tonight that students will become complacent about the alarms, as Carolina Week reporter Jason Morrell tells us. That could spell trouble.
All too familiar from Morrison Residence Hall. Crime tape lining a charred student lounge. This latest fire that broke out in the dorm last Tuesday is the 5th in 3 months there. Freshman Maureen McGrath, who lives in Morrison, says many students aren't taking these fire alarms seriously enough.
There's definitely been people like on the floors and stuff who, you know, you can see them like coming out like 20 minutes later, and they're very slow to get out.
Associate Vice Chancellor and Interim Director of University Housing, Dr. Dean Bershani, says all residence halls on UNC's campus are equipped to alert students in emergency fire situations.
We have 29 residence halls. 6 of them have sprinkler systems. All of them have smoke detection equipment, both smoke detectors and heat detectors.
Fire safety preparedness isn't the main concern for school officials at this point. What is important, however, is getting the students out of the building when the fire alarm sounds. Firefighters at the scene last Tuesday saw several students peering out of bathroom windows during the fire. The students' apparent disregard for warnings has fueled UNC Public Safety to stiffen its penalties against those students who don't leave their rooms during the fire alarms. Major Jeff McCracken says students now caught inside dorms during an alarm will be fined and sent to honor court.
The fines for that is between $10 to $50, minimum 10, maximum 50, plus court costs will be assessed, which is about $86. So you're looking probably $100 or a little bit more total cost.
Dr. Bershani says that while many false alarms occur across campus, students should always treat each one seriously. With fire safety education and stricter penalties for noncompliance, perhaps the fires at Morrison will be an important lesson in how to stay safe and alive. On the campus of UNC, I'm Jason Morrell for Carolina Week.
Failure to leave a building when fire alarm sounds is a misdemeanor according to North Carolina law, and if convicted, the misdemeanor would become part of the student's permanent record.
Despite the recent warm temperatures, students in one residence hall are colder than ever. Last week's freezing weather combined with old pipes means that joiner residents are stuck taking cold showers. While housing is searching for a quick fix, a more permanent solution will not arrive until this summer, when housing plans to replace North Campus water lines.
And it's important to show your Carolina pride by wearing Tar Heel apparel. So where can you find the best bargain?
When we return, we'll take a look at the price differences between the UNC Student Store and Franklin Street and show you where to spend your dollars.
Medical research saves lives. It produces treatments and cures for killers like heart disease, AIDS, cancer. Don't let these killers get away with murder. Support medical research.
What is United Cerebral Palsy? Therapy and education, employment opportunities, independent living, family camp. United Cerebral Palsy, building bridges to independence. You see people, we see promise. Call 800-868-3787.
UNC-Chapel Hill students have a long history of team pride, and they like to wear it on their sleeve. But where to buy clothing with the Tar Heel insignia? Carolina Week reporter Jenny Beaver compared prices on and off campus.
Carolina t-shirts, boxer shorts for that special someone, even Carolina blue cheerleader pom-poms, a must for all Tar Heel fans. They're all for sale at the student store in the heart of campus, but many students believe the stores on Franklin Street are cheaper. UNC senior Kelly Adams says her first stop is usually off campus.
Well, the prices are usually better here on Franklin Street, but the quality is sometimes better at student stores, so I usually shop here first, and if I don't see anything, then I'll go to student stores.
While many students believe that items at the student store are much more expensive, we found that that's not necessarily so. For instance, a hat is less expensive on Franklin Street, but items such as basketball shorts or sweatshirts or even t-shirts are less expensive at the student stores. Carolina Week compared prices on a few basic items. A long-sleeve t-shirt on Franklin Street sells for as much as $23. In the student store, a similar shirt can be had for $15.95. A sweatshirt at the student store, $43. Off campus, $49. And UNC sophomore Jeremy Rorick says there may be other advantages to shopping on campus.
The store's a little bit bigger, has a little bit more selection, and just like I said, the convenience, just right here on campus. I'm right here at it.
For students, there may be another advantage to the campus store. The profits help fund scholarships. Jenny Beaver, Carolina Week at the student store.
Carolina Week survey was strictly non-scientific, so check prices both on and off campus before making a big purchase.
And it's that time again, the dreaded V-Day. That's right, Valentine's. If you're running out of time to get that something for that special someone, there are plenty of places close to campus where you can find the perfect gift. This store on Franklin Street has walls of stuffed animals. And if that's not enough to show the depth of your love, then splurge on some sweets. Many stores near campus carry chocolate. Consider a chocolate heart with Snoopy on top. And don't forget to top off your gift with that perfect carb. And what did you have for dinner tonight? Tuesday evening, UNC students got a taste of hunger at the 5th Annual Hunger Banquet. Each $3 ticket holder receives a scenario of who they are and what's for dinner. 2/3 of the participants ate only rice, 1/4 ate rice and beans, and 1/6 had an industrial gourmet meal. After dinner, participants spoke about North Carolina migrant farm workers and their role in how our food reaches the table.
College students have a history of fighting for change, but it's a group of high school students in Chapel Hill who are leading the way on one hot social issue, gay rights. Carolina Week's Stephanie Maxwell has the story.
The Gay Straight Alliance at Chapel Hill High School meets every Tuesday during lunch hour. These 15 students, ages 14 to 18, say they aren't shy about their sexuality or advocating a gay lifestyle. Advisor David Bruton says the club gives gay students a comfort zone.
We're not promoting as much as we are trying to provide a place for people to be who might feel like they don't have a place to be.
The idea for meeting that need originally came from the school board, which had expressed concern about the lack of tolerance toward gay students.
I developed a multicultural independent study American literature project, and that was working very well the first year, though I had rocks through the windows, buses sprayed with graffiti, buildings burned, PTA thrift shop boxes burned.
Now on campus, there's a greater awareness of the need for tolerance. The members of the Alliance have been actively teaching other students about the gay lifestyle. Student teacher Kevin Carter hopes that the work they've done will open people's eyes.
I want everyone to learn that it's okay, that people realize at a very early age their sexuality, and they need the support, and while they may not be sure of their sexuality completely, they need a time to explore, which is safe and very supportive.
Although students across the country are fighting or even suing school boards for the right to have a gay awareness club on their campus, students here say they have shown the community the right way to be aware about gay education. In Chapel Hill, I'm Stephanie Maxwell, Carolina Week.
The Gay Straight Alliance at Chapel Hill High has been active since 1992. The first buds of spring are appearing around Chapel Hill. Or at least it seems. Will it last?
Weathercaster Kimberly Stewart will tell us coming up. That's not how it is. They have my name in it.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No.
UNC TV brings you the best seat in the house, yours.
Knowledge grow at the North Carolina Botanical Garden through public service, research, conservation, and education. The garden brings North Carolina's rich natural heritage to you. It's a beautiful way to learn.
Well, most of the snow is melting on the streets, so Kimberly, can we expect to have this nice temperature to stay around or not?
You're right, the snow is still on the streets, but hopefully this weekend we'll get into some warmer temperatures. Speaking of warmer temperatures, we have our weather question of the day. What is the warmest temperature in our viewing area for February? Is it A, 89 degrees, B, 84, C, 78, or D, 65? We'll have that answer coming up after our forecast. Of course, we haven't had any of these warm temperatures because 2 weeks ago we had snow and we're left now with melting snow, the dirty snow. Don't eat this stuff. We're warming up in temperatures and we're finally beginning to see some real pavement, glistening with non-frozen water and the green grass that we've all been hoping for. Still, we have a little overcast skies at the beginning of our week, and hopefully pretty soon all of this will be melted and it will soon be a distant memory. Looking at our week in review, on Sunday we had high temperatures of 48 degrees and low of 29. Monday we warmed up 10 degrees with high of 59 and a low of 32 with partly cloudy skies. Tuesday again we had high of 50 and a low of 26. Now late in Tuesday evening we had increasing cloudiness that went to Wednesday due to a pressure system formed off of the coast of North Carolina. Thank goodness it didn't quite make it our way. Wednesday we had high of 50 degrees and low of 21. Now in comparison, our foreign city of the day is Beijing. The reason we have this is because we have a journalism visiting scholar from China, and his name is Mr. Huang Hu, and I hope I pronounced that right. Speaking of pronunciations, the reason I picked Beijing, I don't know how to pronounce any other Chinese cities, so Beijing is the best. Anyway, we have a high of 36 and a low of 21 for Chinese weather right now. Looking into our forecast for this weekend, for those of you who are or are not celebrating Valentine's Day, we're getting a little warmer with Friday close to 70 degrees and clouds on the increase into Saturday as the rain moves in. Yes, that's right, I said rain. High of 60 degrees and low of 45. Sunday, it's expecting to clear out with a high of 50 degrees, low of 33 and partly cloudy. And again, Monday, a high of 54 degrees with a low of 32. Now, I don't know if y'all know the answer to our weather question. Do you have any guesses?
C, A.
I'm going to guess 78 since that's when I was born. So.
Well, actually, our answer is 84 degrees, which is B. This answer was recorded on February 26, 1977, so most of us weren't even born yet. But hopefully our Valentine's Day weekend will look good, and we'll have a good week next week, and hopefully not any more of that white snuff anytime soon.
Thank you so much, Kimberly.
Thank you, Kimberly. We haven't seen him around much lately. Find out next in Carolina Week's exclusive interview with Ronald Curry when and if he'll be back.
Honey, we need to get away. Just the two of us.
You're going to have to get a full-time job. We're losing ground.
We don't ever talk anymore.
Susan will be ready for college next year.
We used to be so close.
We make twice what we made 8 years ago. Now we have less to spend.
I think I'm going to leave you, dear.
Maybe we could sell one of the cars.
Family Counseling Service of Durham. We can help. Call 286-3757.
And I can definitely get that picture to you. I tell you what, I'll send it out in the morning. Okay, bye-bye.
Hi, sweetheart. How you hearing today, huh? Good. Because I don't think you heard me yesterday when we decided that you are not to have business in this house. You have family. Where are your kids?
Upstairs, Jim.
James, shouldn't you be in that kitchen cooking my dinner right now? Because that's your job. Do it.
This woman may not have any cuts or bruises, but she's still scarred.
Now, TD, we got the state game, the basketball game coming up. There's been a lot of talk about Ed Cota being more aggressive.
Yeah, Fred, Ed himself probably won't admit it, but I think a lot of people surrounding the Carolina program would be happier if Ed forced his own game just a little bit more. In today's world of college basketball, point guard play is at a premium. Carolina basketball fans need no explanation, as they have seen their team seemingly rise and fall, depending on the offensive assertiveness of senior playmaker Ed Cota. Since the team's loss to Florida State back on January 22nd, Cota has averaged more than 12 shot attempts per game. That's after averaging less than 8 prior to FSU. Teammate Chris Lang says that a scoring Ed Cota makes a stronger Tar Heel team.
A lot of doors for us when he does score. You know, he's a bigger threat. You know, he can dish off once he does penetrate if the big man slacks off on him. So it's a great asset for us if he scores. That's good.
Turning to women's hoops, the Lady Tar Heels may be finally living up to preseason expectations. After trailing most of Monday night's game with Virginia, Carolina launched a furious comeback that ended with UNC taking a 66-63 decision over the ACC leading Cavaliers. The next 2 weeks look just as promising for UNC, as 3 of Carolina's next 4 games are against teams with sub-500 records in the conference. Tar Heel wrestling slammed rival Duke on Tuesday, winning 8 out of 10 matches. Junior Josh Cowley won 19-6 in his first match of the season after recently rejoining the team. And freshman Dennis Landon scored a 12-2 majority decision. But the most dominant was senior Corey Bell, scoring a 16-1 victory for 5 team points. Bell thinks the win could help some teammates who struggled recently.
People to know that they're still in shape, that their good stuff still works on people. So come this weekend, they'll have that back in their mind, and we can wrestle some nationally ranked competitors.
And the Tar Heels wrestle Navy and Ohio State this weekend. The men and women's swimming teams are gearing up for the ACC championships. The women's team ended the regular season in typical fashion, typical meaning a win over NC State. The Wolfpack has not beaten Carolina on the women's side since 1981. As far as the men, UNC fell to State by 4 points, despite a 3-win individual performance by Chris Heelan. The women's ACC championships begin February 17th, while the men start the 24th. Anyone who knows anything about Carolina sports knows that two-sport star Ronald Curry has been hurt since this fall. But what kind of progress is he making? Josina Anderson gives us an update.
The year Carolina had the misfortune of losing coaches Mack Brown and Dean Smith, the university was lucky enough to land Ronald Curry, who had the talent to help both the football and basketball teams. Despite flashes of brilliance, things didn't happen as Curry planned. In the game against Georgia Tech, Curry went down with a ruptured Achilles tendon, putting him on the long road to recovery.
Well, I made great strides. My Achilles tendon is prepared. I mean, I'm ready to go. Not fully, but I'm running around and rehabbing, and it's much stronger. And before I got hurt, I had like tendonitis in it, and I'm cleared of that. So it's a much stronger tendon now.
Dr. Timothy Taff was the attending physician for Curry's reconstructive surgery. Along with team trainers, Taff has helped Curry with each step of his rehabilitation process.
And his progress to date has been very good. We kept him in a cast for a while. He's now been working on range of motion. We have started gaining strength in his Achilles and are getting ready to start doing some straight-ahead jogging.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that it hasn't been easy for Curry to sit on the sidelines, but he's gained some perspective in his time out.
Well, it taught me a knowledge of the game, looking at it from a different aspect, not just on the field, but off the field. Made me become a student of the game. Put life in perspective. It's not all football or basketball. It can always come to an end.
In Chapel Hill, I'm Josina Anderson, Carolina Week.
And Curry has not yet decided if he will choose one sport over the other upon his full recovery.
Now, TD, you said not yet. What do you mean by that?
Well, Curry's always said that he's going to have to choose one sport or the other one time, but I guess that time is not now.
Okay, thank you.
Well, the hackers are at it again.
Find out which sites have been hit when we return.
It's the third leading killer in North Carolina. Warning signs appear suddenly. Sudden severe headache, vision problems, trouble speaking, numbness on one side of the body. We're all at risk. Know the symptoms so you can get medical help fast. For information about stroke, contact the American Heart Association at 1-800-AHA-USA1.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We have ignition. We have liftoff. Join the next mission aboard the Moorhead Planetarium. For more information on Sky Rambles, call 549-6863.
The World Wide Web has become a worldwide headache. That's because computer hackers are causing problems again. Internet websites are flooded with bogus messages preventing genuine customers from using the sites. E-Trade, ZDNet, and part of CNN's website have all been attacked. Customers are getting denial of service messages. This hacking marks the third time the internet has been interrupted this way. Well, that does it for this edition of Carolina Week. Thank you for being with us this evening. For Jacqueline McClary and the rest of us at Carolina Week, I'm Fred Shropshire. Good night.